So to start off this video, I just want to say that I'm a huge Logic fan. I've really been a fan since about 2016, so maybe I was a little bit late to the party in comparison to a lot of other people, but I found his music back then, and I really enjoyed it, and honestly, it's what got me into rap in the first place. I didn't really care about rap before until then. Of course, now my taste is very different, and I still do definitely enjoy Logic, but back, around that time, he was the only artist that did rap that I really enjoyed. Nowadays, I'll listen to other artists like Trippie Redd and Lil Uzi and, all those motherfuckers, because they're good, and I really like them. But back then, I was like, nah, that shit's trash, I only like Logic. So, I want to just say that now, because I might be a little bit biased in this, considering how much I really do like Logic. But anyways, let's get into it.
Take it back, take it way back, take it way back to the first.
On May 5th, 2017, Robert Bryson Hall II, or Bobby Tarantino, Bobby Hall, Logic, that man right there, released his third studio album, Everybody. Right before this album was released, he released a couple of singles teasing it, the album title track, Everybody. In addition to that, he released Black Spider-Man, and most importantly, he released 1-800-273-8255. Most people would know this is the song where he's like, I've been on the low, I've been taking my time, and that song is really fucking popular. That is easily his most popular song. Honestly, I think it's a little overplayed nowadays, but back then, it was like, it was good on him. It was nice in a way to see him like blow up to that extent. This was the first album that I was there for the release of, when I was listening to Logic, and I was really hyped for it as well at the time.
Take it back, take it way back, take it way back to the first.
His intentions with this album, I feel, were to promote mental health, more particularly promote people to talk about mental health. Especially then, I feel like it was more of a thing where people just didn't really talk about it as much. But actually, around that time is when it really started being talked about. And he tried to jumpstart that in a way. The aforementioned 1-800-273-8255, that is a song about suicide, essentially. Another song that I can really think of, I guess really the only other song on this album that mainly talks about mental health, is Anxiety, which is just, wonder what the fuck that one's talking about, huh? But he was really just trying to promote change, and he got into politics. He wanted to really change just the world, I guess, with this one. He got his platform and he wanted to use it for good in his eyes, I feel.
Take it back, take it way back, take it way back to the first.
The topics that he talks about on this album are pretty much what I just said before. He talks about mental health, he talks about race, he talks about politics in general. He openly speaks out against Trump, and he says that he is doing what Kanye won't because Kanye was supporting Trump at the time. And yeah, I mean, really, that's what he talks about on this album, is mental health and race, just equality, society, essentially. That's why it's called Everybody. He's trying to talk about everybody, how everybody's the same. It's an album for everybody, I guess, is what he was trying to do, and that's what he talks about.
Take it back, take it way back, take it way back to the first.
Well, how well did he fulfill this? How well did he talk about these topics? Did he really promote discussions at the time? Did he really make a change? I would say that him making a change, the chances of that happening aren't necessarily slim, but I feel like they're not exactly huge either. I can respect that he made this album probably in a little bit of a selfless way, just talking about mental health, some of the issues that he's had. It was probably a little cathartic for him to make this album, and actually I heard that at the time he was like the most suicidal that he had ever been in his life. He was super depressed, and I feel like making this album for him was important, but I felt that also because of his struggles, he wanted to let other people know that they're not the only ones struggling. So I think that, he did fulfill his purpose. He really did, do what he wanted to do. But really, what's more important to me is how it actually sounds. And let me say, when this album first released, I thought it was okay, and then I was like, this kind of sucks, and I really didn't like it. But listening to it years later, something about it just really tickles me. It really smacks my ass. I don't know what it is. Just something about these tracks I don't know if it's nostalgia, I don't know if it's just that they go hard, but I think maybe it's a little bit of both. I feel like the sound quality on here is fantastic. His lyricism in a lot of the different songs is just amazing. It's perfect. I really enjoy hearing him say some of these things. And the way that he uses his voice and his tone of voice to convey the message honestly really hits. And it hits hard. It sounds fucking great. and I love it.
Take it back, take it way back to the first.
So piggybacking on the sound quality aspect, how good it sounds, the replayability of this, I really think it is replayable as fuck. In fact, ever since I started listening to it about a week ago to prepare for this video, I have listened to it probably a good like 8 times since then. I've listened to it every single day, and I can say that while of course I'm not going to enjoy it as much as I did the first few times, I still think it's great. I really enjoyed listening to it again, and I enjoyed a lot of the tracks on here, and I feel that I could add them to my playlist and listen to them all the time and really enjoy it. They just really smack. They just hit hard. Not all the politics ones necessarily, but just there's some real bangers on here that just hit fucking different, especially in the morning. They just smack.
Take it way back to the first.
So let's get into the opinions, which I've kind of already gotten into. If it wasn't obvious already, I fucking love this album. It's just everything about it in a way. I think that the mental health side of it, the biracial side of Logic, where he just talks about being biracial, all that, whatever. I think really what I enjoy about this are the tracks like Killing Spree. That shit gets stuck in my head. It lives in my head fucking rent-free for years. I love that song. It's always just in my ass, in my head. I fucking love it. Ass, titties, pussy, money, weed. Everywhere I look at Killing Spree. All the things they wanted me to be is all the things that I turned out to be. You know what? I'm just going to talk about the tracks in order and really what I think about them real quick. Hallelujah, great. It's kind of a gospel track. It starts off a little slow. He just says open your mind like 1,000 fucking times before he gets into the actual song. But the actual song fucking hits hard. He's like, made in the image of God with the blood in my mouth and a bitch on the side. That's just a fucking legendary line. That's how he opens the fucking album. The next song is Everybody, which, I mean, fuck. That song is so good to this day. Okay, I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now. Sit the fuck back down. Seem like everybody nowadays, Hollywood. Oh, it's like that now? Everybody then goes into Confess, which, whenever I think of the song, I just think of, somebody save me! It just fucking blasts. It's so good. It just, something about it, the drop and like the beat is just, the production on this is great. Side note, great production. The fourth track is, of course, Killing Spree. Fucking love that song. So fucking good. Goes into Take It Back, where he's like, take it way back, which you've heard in the transitions already. That song's pretty fucking good, but half of it's kind of just filled with him talking about himself. You know, he's like, take it way back to about 1990, and then he just basically talks about him coming up or whatever, his life, and what he was thinking, I guess, going into making this album. The next song on this album is America. Pretty decent song. Yeah, he just talks about America, and yeah, I mean, he talks about America in 2017. So after America, just going off the top of my head, I believe is Ink Blot. Now, Ink Blot is my least favorite song on the album. It is incredibly forgettable for me. I think it's fine. I think it's fine with Juicy J. Not a huge fan of either of their performances on this song, but you know, good enough, I guess. After Ink Blot comes Most Definitely, which is also a really good track. It's really fast-paced. I enjoy that one a lot as well. I believe that the song that comes after Most Definitely is 1-800. Not 1,000% sure on that, but if not, then on screen it'll basically say that I'm a fucking idiot, and it'll say what the track really is. And this song is interesting. It's his most popular song. I think it's good, but like, I don't really want to listen to it anymore. You know, I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. You know, and who can relate? Woo! I can't do the fucking woo. Fuck you. I think that after 1-800 is Anxiety. There's a chance that Anxiety came before 1-800. I don't know. It's around there. And Anxiety is a great song. It starts off with this girl singing, saying that everything is fine, everything is so fine, and that she's happy. And then it drops, and I'm pretty sure that Logic is supposed to play the role of Anxiety, because he goes like, I'm gonna get up in your mind right now, make you feel like dying right now. I'm gonna make you pray to God, to the good old Lord, for a sign right now. I think that the way that he organizes this track in a way is supposed to mean like, you can be chilling, you can be happy, you can be vibing, and then Anxiety can just come and fuck your ass. And I know exactly how that feels, because I have anxiety myself, and it can definitely be a bit of a train wreck. It fucking sucks. I feel it all the time. And so in a way, when I first listened to this album, I didn't really struggle with anxiety like I do now. But listening to it now, it honestly really fucking hits. And I felt the song a lot more than I ever did before. So after Anxiety comes Black Spider-Man. I think it's a pretty good track. It's nothing absolutely mind-blowing or anything, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good listen. It's just like, I don't know, it's good. And it's in a way it's funny because he starts off saying like, you know, I've been feeling so down. I think they should know now. I think they should know what's up. And then whenever it drops, he just goes and fucking shits on the track. He's like, I ain't here to pick and choose. I'm not here to sing the blues. I'm just here to spread the clues. Or no, he says, I don't know, some shit like that. And then he's like, I'm not ashamed to be white. I'm not ashamed to be black. I ain't ashamed of my beautiful Mexican wife, as a matter of fact. I know you fucking with that. That line didn't age too well, considering that he divorced that Mexican wife and now lives with a white woman and is married to her and has a kid with her. But, you know, he didn't know that at the time, so whatever. The song that comes after Black Spider-Man, I believe, is Africarian. And this song is a little bit of a slow burn, but I think it, you know, picks up. I think it's pretty good. And then, actually, at the end of the song, it has a J. Cole feature, a little bit of a cameo. He's not credited. But, yeah, I think it's really interesting. It has, like, a beat switch. It's a 13-minute song, so do I ever see myself listening to it? No. But, you know, it's good. Maybe that was a little bit long-winded, but, yeah, those are my thoughts on the actual, like, tracks on here, my opinions on it. I think my top 3 songs on here would be Killing Spree, Everybody, and Take It Back. Great songs, especially Killing Spree and Take It Back together. When you listen to the album, the transition is so smooth. It's like you don't even know that there's another song playing. It's great.
Take it back, take it way back, take it way, way back to the first.
So here are my concluding thoughts. Does it hold up in 2017? Well, does it hold up in 2022? I think abso-fucking-lutely it totally holds up in 2022. I fucking love this. I love it more than I did when it released, and I didn't really like it that much, and now I fucking love this album. It actually is so good. I really enjoy it. And I know people are going to absolutely fucking crucify me, kick me in the nuts for this. So as you know, probably, maybe, perhaps, I gave the Slim Shady LP a 6.5. And I'm going to go ahead and give this album an 8.5. Yeah, this album gets an 8.5, which is a little high to some people. Slim Shady LP was a little low. Some people might think I should switch those numbers around. I really like Everybody. I think it's great. I loved it to this day. Yeah. And really with that, there's not really much else I have to say. I really appreciate to those people that have stuck around since my first video and have showed love, showed support, commented, liked, subscribed, all that shit. It genuinely does mean a lot to me. I know every fucking person that does YouTube on the planet says that, but it really does. It means, truthfully, so much more than anybody might think it does to me. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Video next week, it's going to be on Black Ops 2, so stay tuned for that, and have a good one. Thank you.
Take it back, take it way back, take it way,